Hey, Soul Tribe. I'm KamalaDevi, and today's topic is writing as a spiritual practice. So, I could say so much about this topic. It's obviously very near and dear to my heart, but my intention is to give you some tools, some practices to enrich your own revelatory journey in words. And I want to start by revealing a bit about the new book that I'm working on now. And then, in addition to maybe three different writing practices to um, enhance your spiritual conductivity, like open that channel so that you're writing from soul, writing from source. I also would love to give you an invitation for those of you who maybe authors or artists, or maybe you're just journaling for your own personal growth or you're telling your own story. A lot of journaling can be revelatory, like free therapy. It's very profound. So regardless of your experience level, I want to start by sharing my newest book. Is called One Fool's Journey, and it's a memoir. Many of you may have known that I have, a handful of books under the topic of spirituality, sexuality, polyamory, kink, tantra. These are some of the themes that I've devoted the last couple of decades to not only practicing and teaching, but then teaching others, specifically, writer, like I've coached a lot of writers, and writing itself is a spiritual journey. It's like a deep, one of the deepest teachers. And in the process of, revealing ourselves through our stories, we bridge the unseen world with the world of form. The ideas, the memories, the fantasy, the inspiration, it's all in the ethers. And then we put our butt in the chair, we type it out or write it out, it like becomes letters on the page. It's like in form. So that's magic in and of itself. It's like bringing the unseen into the scene. And not everyone considers writing a spiritual practice. Obviously, it can be very technical, it can be very mundane, but what makes that distinction is intention. So I'm going to share with you some practices to increase your intentionality in your own writing. But just to update you, this book that I'm working on now is a memoir, and it's bringing me to new places spiritually because it's based on the esoteric, tarot cards. And so the 22 major arcana, there's the first 22 cards of the deck, represent different major events that happen in everyone's life, like major life events or teachers or enemies and allies. And so we all are on a journey. We're meeting these archetypes. And my book not only shows how I encounter those archetypes and meet the medicine that's there for me, but as a dialogue with the reader, invite you into what is your relationship? And an example is mothering. What's your relationship to your mother or to being a mother? And in me, that's very different. I have a 17-year-old son, and that's a very different role than being a lover, right? What's your relationship to the beloved or multiple partners or, being in the lover role? And those examples of roles, my cat wants to say hi. So here we are. The different roles can be like identities that we step into, and we can have our attachments or our ways of being. And a real spiritual practice is to de-identify, dissolving the ego, dissolving the attachments, so that we become empty, we become nobody. And that is the Fool. The first card of the tarot is empty. And I, innocent and curious, and I am in like probably a 2 or 3 year journey of working on one fool's journey. It's a big commitment when you like say I do to a book, you're taking on a massive project and it becomes a total priority. And so whether or not you're a writer, here's some practices that I recommend in order to raise your vibration for the introspection of journaling. I invite you to light a candle, to close your eyes and center yourself in your own favorite way. Like you can just be emptiness, or you can invoke, channel, call in guides, allies, energies that are higher than your frequency, and allow them to guide you in the writing process. And this is a little bit different to the second practice, but relevant, right? The second practice is more of a dialogue popularized by Neil Donald Walsh. Although, Edgar Casey did it, and it's an esoteric practice from yesteryear, like it's really ancient. And that is automatic writing, where you will write a question and then write an answer and be in a back and forth dialogue with the one that's, seeking and the one that knows within. This is particularly powerful if you find yourself seeking for answers outside or giving your power away. It's like, come back in, the answers are within. Here's a practice to get you grounded into that. And it can be about your spiritual path. It can be about what to write next, or how to form a character or a setting. I mean, there's all kinds of, the possibilities are infinite on this oracle of conversing with yourself or your higher power or God. So the last piece that I want to offer is, it's more esoteric. As a meditation, it involves creative visualization, Shakti Gawain style, which is that you go into a meditation and start to envision. I'm sure you've heard of Akashic Records, a whole library of like every story that's ever been told, everything that will happen or has happened. And if you're doing it for personal growth, you can like check out the book that is the story of your life, or the book of love. Like, what are your deepest desires or your hopes for your future, or your soul contract that you came here to do? Like, that book has those answers. So it's like meditating and checking that out and holding it to your heart and really listening to like, what does this book have to say to inform me right now in my path where I stand? And if you're a professional writer, if you're, in the process of writing a book, you can go to the library and actually check out your book. Like the one that you think you're creating now has already been written. So you go to the Akashic Records and you like check that out and really get a sense of like, ooh, what color is the book cover? What does it say on the back cover? And like flip through the chapters and really glean your information, your inspiration, so that when you do write, it's coming from this transrational, otherworldly space. And it's very, very powerful practice. All three of these practices get better the more you use them. So I want to encourage you that you might have an experience. You might try it out and you'd be like, wow, I got so much out of that. I'm good. I don't need any more. And I promise it gets better. Or you could try it and be like, yeah, it wasn't really for me. Try it again, because it's like building a muscle. The more you do it, the better you get. So having shared just a few of the practices, I want to lead you towards the source of more details and more teachings. And that's my How to Write a Book in 90 Days course. So for over a decade now, I've been coaching and training other writers and artists and creatives in channeling their book. There's lots of other places where you can get the technical, writing craft of teachings, but this is really about the spiritual, cultivating a relationship to writing as a spiritual practice. And so this 90-day course is 9, classes, 2 hours each. I think there's some bonuses, but the essence of it is if you do these practices in this sequence over this time, you can write your full first draft in 90 days, which is like amazing and awesome as a foundation. And it is currently on like I'm offering a special deal because I'm relaunching it. So for a certain amount of time, all the details are in the link. And if you join us, we're going to form a writing group, and it's a home study course, but it's great to have other people get involved with us. And if you reply soon enough, then I'll offer it for $108, which is really just like an honorarium for energy exchange. And normally this course is $497, so it's a really awesome deal. And I look forward to working with you virtually, or perhaps we'll do a private session. But I love working with writers and helping us, bridge the world, the magical dream time space with the real gift that it is to write a book or play or a screenplay, like really producing a piece of art in the world. The world needs it. And blessings to you. Thank you for listening, and we'll be in touch.